Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Wherever you're watching from, welcome to this program. Facebook, this is for education purpose. Facebook, this is for educational purpose. Facebook, this is for educational purpose. Alright, depending on where you're watching from, welcome to this. While you join us, share the video, invite others to join. While you are joining, share the video, invite others to join. Very quick one, very quick one. There is some observation that I just actually made, and all this observation boils down to when we say, whenever we suggest that Nnamdi Kanu is a kind of a savior to the people of the South. He is a kind of savior to the people of the South. But many people might not understand what I mean, because you are just going to be ordinary, local person in Nigeria. So you might not understand when I say that Nnamdi Kanu is a savior to the South. People might not understand what it is. Now, let's actually, take it deeper. I don't want to waste time, hence I am not going to wait for you to join. So if you wish to join, you join and share the video to others to watch. So let's take it straight to the point. Let us look into what is happening in Congo DRC today. If you look into the history of the tension in Congo DRC, we can understand that the people who are called the M23, they have a link to Rwanda. They have a link to Rwanda. Not only that they have a link to Rwanda, there is alleged suspicion that the current president of Rwanda is basically supporting M23. It is not actually a rumor anymore. It is all over the place. Now let's find out. Let's go a little bit back to the history and the colonial legacy by the Belgians in Congo as well as Rwanda. Because when we think about the colonial legacy of those people and aftermath of the colonialism, what happened there, you will now have the sense of nostalgia as per what happened to Biafrans in 1967 to 1970. Because it is almost the same pattern that this colonial legacy was actually trading on. During the time Belgium or Rwanda had their independence, what happened was that in 1990, Rwanda had their independence. I not recall the date, but I know that after the independence in 1994, we know that there was a genocide that took place in Rwanda. And this genocide is actually well orchestrated, or will I say the aftermath of the colonial legacy. Because after the colonization, the power was handed over to the minority group called the Tutsis. Now, the minority group called the Tutsis, they are known for pastoralism. Just like you understand that in Nigeria, after the independence, the power was given to this minority group, which is actually seen as majority group today. Now, this minority group, the power was given to because the colonizer knew that these people can be manipulated, these people can be used as a willing tool to undermine the integrity of a nation because they are, number one, the minority, and the colonizer did them a favor by picking them up to be the leader of the country. Now, during 1994, when the colonial administration has exacerbated ethnic division, they exacerbated ethnic division, which actually was between Hutus and the Tutsis. Now, the Belgians continue to favor the ethnic group named Tutsis, those who were known as pastoralists, just like we have the Fulanese in Nigeria as pastoralists, or the Fulani headers, the headers. So, these two ethnic groups we are talking about, they have a lot in common. They have a lot in common, Fulanese and the Tutsis. Even some history suggests that they are actually related with each other. So it is important for us to connect the dots of what the colonial legacy, how the colonial legacy affected that area of Africa, decisively dealt with them in a way that they turned against each other. Because the Tutsis and the Fulanese, they have the same behavior. They have the same behavior. So after the genocide, you will discover that in Congo DRC, you will discover that there was an area in Congo where the Tutsis are as well, where there are Tutsis as well in Congo. So, in that regard, you will not understand exactly what was the reason, or what is the reason why there is a fight in Congo DRC. When we talk about this M23, they are also connected to the Tutsis of Rwanda. And they have actually came into Congo, a particular city in Congo, where there is a lot of mineral resources. There, they have been fighting, they have taken over that area. Now, if they have taken over that area, it means that this destabilization in the Central Africa, it means that it still have a lot to do with colonial, colonial rules and the legacies. And that was exactly, if you understand how these headers started taking over your bushes across the southern Nigeria, not only in the northern Nigeria, they started taking over bushes, and then Nnamdi Kanu was the man who noticed exactly what was going on, and then Nnamdi Kanu decided to warn everyone, to tell them this is what is coming. This was what is coming, and Nnamdi Kanu was seen as enemy, because once you become the whistleblower against the malevolent, you will be seen as the bad guy, and they will paint you in a way that you will appear in the eyes of the world that you are the bad guy, because it's all about, suppressing the truth. The headers, their plan was to take over the whole bushes, strategic areas or strategic bushes across the southern region of Nigeria, so that if eventually they lose power, just like they have lost this time around, they will now, if they are actually being marginalized. They will now bring in what they have actually planned for the country, invade all over the place, take over bushes, take over communities, take over strategic areas in the southern region of Nigeria. After that, they will hold the whichever government there for ransom. So that is the reason why they had to do everything that they have to do. Remember that it is colonial legacy that triggers these things, because they always favor the people who are so violent. Colonial legacy is always in the favor of everyone or any group of people who are so violent that they can be used in order to unalive the rest of the people. While unaliving the rest of the people, they will be taking over every place and the strategic places where there are mineral resources, whilst they are actually selling it out or mining it and selling it in a black market, so that the people who orchestrated this problem that you are going through, they will basically be buying that as a black market, whilst paying you not in money. They will pay you with weapons. They will supply you weapons, take mineral resources, telling you or promising you, once you take over this area, now we will help you to rebuild. And once you take over it, we will help you to protect it. We will continue to supply you these weapons. Now you ask yourself, why did you think that, M23, how come M23 becomes so strong? To an extent that the Congo government could not manage M23 anymore, that they have actually overrun a place. And not only overrunning the place Congo, which is the richest country realistically in the world, is now a country who is dependent on humanitarian help. They are dependent on humanitarian help. Whilst kids, as early as the age of 5, they will be in the mine, taking risk, mining all these resources and selling it for pittance to their buyers. And who are those buyers? The buyers are the ones who orchestrated the problems and the colonization of that area. So they are still the buyers. So when they actually saw that, when they see basically that there is peace in this community, what they will do, they know that if there is peace in a particular community, what they are going to do is to find someone who is biased, or find someone who is not related to that community but already is integrated into the community, and they now brainwash them. After brainwashing them, they empower them, not with money, they empower them with ammunitions, they empower them with weapons, and now eventually they will tell them to attack each other. From there, at the end of the day, you find out that you will have this thing going on in that nation, and that thing will never ever go away. Because as long as there is this problem within this area, the resources in that area belongs to those who are giving the people who are called the terrorists. That belongs to them. The mineral belongs to them, because they are trading it with weaponizing these bad guys in order for them to be protecting the land where they are mining. How do you explain that? That was exactly what the colonizers wanted to use the headers to do. The Fulani headers in Nigeria. But Nnamdi Kanu ruined their plan. Have you ever wondered the reason why they had to go to Kenya to extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria? Think about it. From Britain was the only one who knows that Nnamdi Kanu left for Kenya, because everything Nnamdi Kanu was exposing, all the whistle that he blew, was actually against the plan for these headers to dominate the bushes, strategic areas where minerals can be found in future. for them to, take over all this area, bring, panic, bring chaos, community running a helter-skelter. Now they will be replacing the mineral exploitation. They exploit your minerals whilst giving you weapon to fight the community. The same thing is what's going on in DRC Congo today. The Tutsis, these are known as pastoralists. The same thing applicable to the Fulanis. It cannot be a coincidence that anywhere where these pastoralists are, it's always a chaos. A chaos. Could it be because the pastoralists knew that they are not from these areas, but they are visitors in this area, and this area harbored them, or this area integrated them? At the end of the day, they decided that now we must rule this area. Or the colonizers understood that these people are not from this area. Therefore, they don't give a hoot about who is from this area. Therefore, they can actually unite amongst themselves as cabals and focus on unaliving communities and doing ethnic cleansing, and it doesn't concern them. This, unaliving people is not a problem to them. As long as they protect that which the colonizers is exploiting to be great. They are exploiting these things to be great. Whilst these people are putting their life at risk to protect it, and they mine it for the colonizers, they sell it to the colonizers on a half price, not even half price, for peanuts, just for the colonizers to exchange it with weapon for them to use to put their life at risk. To destabilize areas where there are strategic minerals. Once they destabilize that area by giving guns to, bunch of uneducated people who does not know, cannot read wrong from right. These are the people the colonialists will basically target and use them to destabilize a particular, location, which is going to be very, very important to the colonizers. You heard that African military that even went for, peacekeeping mission, these same people unalived some of them, even bring them to their knees to surrender. Do you know the reason why they did? Because they have what it takes. They have the weapons. They are ready to fight anything to protect the ground which is feeding their gun suppliers. Isn't that the behavior of you cannot be a human and behave like that or think like that. Think about how far Nigeria has been in the hands of the Fulanese. How far it has been in the hands of the Fulanese. What's going on? The only thing that we are able to see after actually 60 years of independence is Generator Republic. Think about it. Generator Republic. And we have seen chaos upon chaos. Power was handed over to them by Britain. Now, after that, they started tormenting and basically, doing as they please. At the end of the day, the people of Biafra decided that they said, no, we cannot continue with this. We have to go our separate ways because we know that it is a foul for Britain to give much power like this to people who just, to settlers. To settlers, not just people, to settlers. And these people were actually provoked by colonial legacy to unalive how many Biafrans, even unaliving a baby in the stomach. Think about it. They have no mercy, which led to Ojukwu Declaration 1967 and the Nigeria invasion of Biafra. Understanding these things will now make you to understand exactly what is going on, what happened in Rwanda, the genocide in Rwanda. Not only the genocide in Rwanda, the one that is taking place now, it is the same Tutsis, the minority in the area, who are headers like Fulani, like the Fulanis. They have now secured a strategic position in DRC in order so that they will secure those minerals for these people who colonized and influenced the genocide of 1994. That's exactly what they are doing. When you hear that, hey, Chinese, they built the sun. Chinese built a sun. Chinese built electric cars. Chinese built Hawaii. And America built Apple. And then they're about to create portals. Dude, what actually is the backbone of all these innovations? They are discovered in Congo. So all these tech companies, all these companies that you are enjoying their product, those products are as a result of the blood of innocent people in Congo. Because they want to exploit the materials that they are going to use to create this innovation. And at the end of the day, these materials are not paid how much it should be paid. It is actually exchanged with weapons so that the people of the region will continue to unalive each other while they are exploiting this material, these mineral resources or natural resources, in order to bring, go and bring you a finished product. They will buy what will make maybe phone that will give them $500 billion. They will procure the natural resources. They will only be paying $500,000. And they now, in their own labor, maybe they contribute to their own labor, probably you get to $100,000. Now, what is their profit? Think about the profit. The real thing, without these resources that is found in DRC, without those resources, you will not have battery. You will not have phone. You will not have all these technologies all over the place they are showing you. You will not have electric cars. Kids are mining cobalt used in manufacturing battery. Now, lithium, they have it. So all these things you see, it's coming from there. That's why there will never be peace. Because these minority people who are moving cattle from place to place are actually the tools that is always used by colonizers in order to destabilize a place that they might pay black market price to a resources that is rare to find across the world. And the people who are actually digging these things out of the ground or mining them, they will be paid nothing. Yet when iPhone come to Africa, you pay million. You pay million. When any other technology cars come to Africa, you pay millions. But the things that actually can, makes this car or make these technology dreams to come alive, where it is coming from, is made to be destitute. There is no, there is no life in DRC. Ever since we know DRC, there is always one conflict to another. When I say there is no life, I don't mean that the people there are not living. I mean that things are hard. realistically speaking, things are hard. This country is the richest in mineral in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world, these people, this nation is a nation that is richest in minerals in the whole wide world. The heart of Africa. That's where we are talking about. The heart of the continent. Every area in the continent is connected to the heart of the continent. The Tutsis are, wreaking havoc in those areas. The same thing the Fulanis were planning, and the same reason why the Fulanis made sure that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in 2021, to make sure to see if they will be able to achieve their gain. That is why when Buhari died in 2017, they had to wear him a mask. Have you seen Buhari up around? We know Obama is the ex-president of America. He's always in interviews. The same applicable with the ex-president of the United States. The same applicable to every president across everywhere. They are always, actually, we see them in the media. But Buhari, do you see him in the media? No. He disappeared. The last time we spoke about him, he made one write-up. He was not a speaking president since 2017. He became a writing president and copy and paste president. So think about it. Think about it. That's why Fulani wanted to hold power. And they know that the only person who could expose them was Tinubu. That's why they had no choice than to let that power get to Tinubu. You see how the Fulanis are crying today. You see how they are crying. This has been what they've been doing to Nigeria. Mining their own stuff. Once they become, get into power, they will just marginalize every other person. The only people that they will just look after a little bit are the Yorubas, because they just want to use them to complete numbers. They want to use the Yorubas to complete their numbers, voting number or voting power. That's why they will always use, look after Yoruba a little bit. But had it been they succeeded their plan, had it been Nnamdi Kanu never started exposing what these people were up to, today, you will be cornered. You will be seeing so, Emir. You will be seeing these people that wears blanket on top of their head ruling over you. But thank God, Yorubas actually adhered to that message of Nnamdi Kanu and created Amoteku. That's why, they are safe. And thank God Nnamdi Kanu created Eastern Security Network. That's why we are still safe. When they saw that when they saw what Eastern Security Network were able to do, and how Nnamdi Kanu was able to gather soldiers to protect the land from the plan of the neo-colonialists, they decided that they have to introduce what you call agent provocateur. Because the plan is to make sure that Biafra land, there is a problem there. That's how Simon Ekpa, that's what gave rise to Simon Ekpa. Many people does not know what gave rise to Simon Ekpa. But little did they know that we are going to rise up and expose and make sure that everything Ekperima was doing, we expose them and say that this is not for Biafra. It shocked them. They thought we are gullible. They thought that all of us were gullible. Once you say, shout Biafra, I will finish Nigeria, I will finish these people, everyone will run and follow you and say, no, he's doing great, as long as he's finishing Nigeria. You don't know that there is sacrifice you have to pay in order to make sure that that thing which the colonizer wants from you, they will achieve it. And the idiot does not even know who was actually, bankrolling him. He doesn't know where the forces that is giving him wings to fly were coming from. He only knew few individuals that he thought that he believed that these are just ordinary politicians. As long as I will act my drama and cash in. But he never knew extent of where this muscles that is giving him those wings to fly were coming from. That's why he had to make Biafra land unpeaceful place. And he will come and take glory on Twitter. He will go and commit this heinous crime against humanity. He will go to Twitter and take, because he has to show them that he is the one doing it, so that they will be convinced that he was doing it. So that you gullibles will be convinced that he was doing it. That's exactly the reason why he got himself into this, mess that he found himself today. In the most guarded prison in Finland. In the name he was fighting for you. You don't know he wasn't fighting for you. He was creating content with the lives of innocent people. Because it's all about money that he wanted. Money and fame. Fortune and fame. Those are the type of people colonizers look for. Once they look at your characteristics, or once they look at your character and they see now this person can do it, it's all about fortune and fame. They will start using you without you knowing. That's what landed Simon, because the plan was to destabilize. But thank God that Nnamdi Kanu had already had a state security network in Biafra land. No one knew what exactly these people had been planning for Biafra land. The same reason why you found this vice president on the you hear his phone call when they take over presidency. They will see what they can do to Lagos. And that's exactly what happened. Immediately, Tinubu and this guy took over the power. Lagos became a place that is not secured or conducive for Igbos anymore. That's what happened. But one thing is that Yoruba people believe that Igbos are their problem. And I believe that if they have, foresight, they will begin to see that Igbos are not the problem of Nigeria. And Igbos were never the problems of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is colonial legacy and the people they handed over the key to the Nigeria safe. Those are the ones who are segregating, who are making sure that there is no peace. And that's what Igbo man saw on time and decided that he wanted to go his separate ways. They were able to convince you Yorubas to fight the Igbos. Now, just that the Yoruba man become a president, Fulanis are crying. You must divide Nigeria today. You must divide Nigeria this. Why? Why? Because the power is meant to be in their hands. Now you ask yourself, why is Tinubu still holding Nnamdi Kanu? Even when court has set him free, why is he holding Nnamdi Kanu? Of course, an arrangement made by Fulanis. If you do everything you are doing, hold this man there. This man for ruining your opportunity of becoming president. Hold him there. And he believed them because he's an old man that is uninformed. He believed them that Nnamdi Kanu was up for ruining his presidency 2023. He didn't know that Nnamdi Kanu's preaching and exposition and whistleblowing is the reason why they still have a land in order to be the president. They still have, authority in order to be the president. That's what they don't know. Because the problem we have, message is all about who understands it. That's why Tinubu is seeing Nnamdi Kanu as a problem, because the Fulanis want him to hold Nnamdi Kanu in captivity. I heard I saw the write-up and they have approved is it to build new university in Ogoni. People are jumping up. You are building new university whilst the ones you have are not equipped. Isn't that crazy? They just signed. People began to jubilate. Jubilate on what? When we talk about education system, we are not talking about approving to build new infrastructure. Equip the ones that you have first, then you build more infrastructure, then that will, take more capacity. You cannot go and start spending whilst the children does not have chairs in school. They don't have adequate, machines for practicals. There is nothing there. When we talk about the education system, it does not mean that just once you approve building of one university, it covers the education system. Education system, when we talk about the education system in a particular country, because when we talk about this, many politicians don't understand that, because we can understand that those politicians, they are not educated enough, they are not exposed enough, they are just aburu, who found themselves into political space just because of their aburu nature. If we understand what is called education system in a country, we will now know that it is necessary for you to have any education body that will make sure that infrastructure or every school is well equipped, and there must be funds made available for children who does not have money to go to school but are willing to go to school, since they say education is the key. Education system cater for everybody. It is not going to build infrastructure while the one you have is not maintained. When we talk about justice system, we are not talking about a place where there is a law court or replacing judges with another judge. No, that's not what we are talking about. When we are talking about justice system is a system that protects both poor, both middle class, and the rich. It protects the poor against the rich, and the rich against the poor, or the poor against the government, or the rich against the government. It protects the right of every individual. That is justice system. Justice system, a good example of a good justice system, it will make a law and they will actually, enforce that law. By, if you arrest any individual and it is within the law or constitution of the country that they must be presented before a judge within 48 hours. Constitution is mandated, constitution is made available that supports that, yet police will pick you up, leave you indefinitely in police custody without presenting you before the judge. That's an example of a good justice system. They must enforce that which the Constitution has approved. They will not hold people on arbitrarily. They will not place you in arbitrary detention. Not because you didn't greet a policeman on the road, that the policeman will carry you, go put you for sale. No, that's not, you don't have a justice system. Because if you have a justice system, that policeman can get arrested for violating your right and placing you in a custody against your right as an individual. That means that the policeman is actually misusing their position. Is misusing their position. They can be ripped off that position. When a country is devoid of justice system, those are the type of things you see in a country. When a country is devoid of justice system, Nnamdi Kanu is in a DSS custody because Nigeria is devoid of justice system. When we talk about justice system must be able to, once they actually, make a pronouncement, it must stand. Regardless of the law enforcement, where they come from, they cannot match the law court. It is called obey before complain. That is justice system. Not really that, that word is not actually only for the military. It is for the judge. Once the judge issued a judgment, obey before complain. That is a good justice system. You don't have it in Nigeria. That is second one. First one was education system. Now, when it comes to, healthcare system is a system which caters for both poor, both middle class, both the rich. It's a system that caters for your health, whether you have money or you don't have money. Your right to life must be protected and must be respected. That is justice system. Everyone has a right to life. And the hospital must not turn you down just because you do not have money. It is your right to life. That is a nation that has, healthcare system. Not in Nigeria, you will hear that a woman gave birth in the front of the door of a hospital because he didn't have money. The doctors turned him down or turned her down. Or not in Nigeria, you will see that a person died in the door of the hospital because they didn't have money. Doctor turned them down. That's not, you don't have a healthcare system. That's why you will see those type of things happening. Think about it. In a big country like Nigeria, you are devoid of healthcare system, justice system, education system. In fact, everything. You lack everything. It is not a nation. It is Banana Republic. And it is not an insult. It is the reality of the environment. If you don't have a justice system, education system, or healthcare system, what makes you a nation? What makes you a nation? That has been where Fulanis and Yorubas have actually been able to lead us to. Because it's Fulani to Yoruba, Yoruba to Fulani, Fulani to Yoruba, Yoruba to Fulani. That has been where they have led us to in the last 60 years of independence. No matter how great you claim you might be, you don't have justice system. It's a banana republic. And above all, how can you have right to vote and be voted for when you do not have justice system? Who will actually make sure that your right was violated because you are not granted right to vote and be voted for? Who will make sure of that? Justice system. But you don't have that. Who will make sure that the president and the governors are not going abroad for medical care, justice system, and the healthcare system? Those are the people who will make sure that the government will prioritize these systems over every other thing, to make sure that it will also cater for them and their children. Now people are running helter-skelter, and they're saying Trump is, is doing this, is making laws and policies that will deport many of you from United States, especially the politicians' children. Isn't that a great thing? I wish he was a president to all the Western nations, so that he will not only deport these politician children schooling there, he will deport all of them. He will not only deport them in America, he will deport them all over the world, so that they will come and face generator republic they have created in Nigeria. They will come to face that hunger and starvation, drought. They will come and face all this, place where you hear bad news all the time. They will come and face it themselves. Because they have deprived you right to life by depriving you justice, healthcare system. Healthcare system. Count how many of your loved ones who had died because of the negligence of the healthcare practitioners in Nigeria. Count how many of your loved ones who have died just because of them not having money to take care of the hospital bills. Count how many of them who have died, and ask yourself, are you granted right to life in Nigeria? No, you're not. It is essential right to life. It is protected and ensured by the justice system, by the healthcare system. Right to life. It is only Banana Republic. Nnamdi Kanu exposed these things. That is the reason why he's in arbitrary detention. Tinubu does not want to release him. He doesn't want to release him. And everything Nnamdi Kanu did is within his, right. Is within his right, and all are in the Constitution of Nigeria. He has constitutional backing for everything he did in Nigeria. But we can see that no matter what you see, all these things you see Tinubu is doing, none of them are going to be effective towards your economic challenges. I can categorically tell you that. It is not going to change the status of your, of your economic, state. It will never change anything. Regardless of what you see him do, the policies, because he is mostly, Tinubu is making money from Nigeria more than every other government. As I am telling you now, but many might not understand. He is making money more than any government that has ever been in position of power in Nigeria. Because now his monetary policies is making money for him and creating room for him to have, borrowing power from IMF. That's how much he's accumulating. But those money, are they going to the coffers of the nation? The answer is, I don't know. If he is making money that can turn around the economy, he has implemented, a lot of policies that can turn around the economy, but it will never turn around the economy because he's not making it for the economy. What you see them doing is it is just, they are marketing themselves for the second tenor, where they go show you shege. That's what they are doing. You see, all this implementation, people will say, he opened the Port Harcourt refinery and he signed a Oguni University of whatever. Now, all these things is buying a ticket to 2027, where he go show you shege. You will remember my word. A man who, if this man came to actually, do things that will bring a sense of belonging to everyone in Nigeria. Number one thing he's supposed to do, since he knew that he released Sunday Igboho, he's supposed to release Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, almost everything he's doing is Benwike, River State. Everything he's doing is in Ogoniland, River State. That's where he is doing most of the things he does in the eastern Nigeria. For you to you think it's anything, because he wants access to the oil there too. So it is rob Peter to pay Paul, or pay Peter to rob Paul. That's what he's doing. But the politics is what you cannot fathom, because the problem is that we don't pay attention to the politics. We only pay attention to how much is petrol price. Now the call is also expensive. It doesn't matter, we're going to make call. No problem. He is making a hell of money. From cyber security that he was you introduced to your every EFT you made or what in your bank account, to the tariffs in your call and messages, petrol subsidy removal. He made a lot. Now, where are those money going? We don't know. So he is not a person who came to, bring hope or give you sense of belonging or hope for unity of the country, which they always claim that they are coming for. But the truth of the matter is that he came there to destabilize and act like he is building. He was able to release Sunday Igboho, his brother, and left our own brother Nnamdi Kanu to be suffering. When Sunday Igboho and among others created Amotekun, the same way Nnamdi Kanu created Eastern Security Network, make it make sense. Is he someone who came to give you a sense of belonging, or someone who came to unify Nigeria? Is he someone? No, it's not. Nepotism and favoritism. That is what you see there, and you will always see. If you think any politician will come and make anything happen for you, oh, you'll be wasting your time. These people don't give a damn about you. They don't care about you. And the Fulani will not live without a fight. If he's really meaning business with them. They don't go without a fight. The same way they have destabilized the north. The north. Now the resources in the north is the same thing going on in Congo DRC. By the Tutsis, M23. It is all about selling the resources for nothing. Zamfara State. What is in Zamfara State? Good resources in Zamfara State, among other areas in the northern Nigeria. They were going to actually overrun all of you in the south, if not the coming of Nnamdi Kanu, if not the exposition of Nnamdi Kanu. All of you were actually at the mercy of Nnamdi Kanu. You think these politicians are going to save you? The answer is that they will never save you. They are also being used to make a place to be like, you see, in Imo State. Think about what is happening in Imo State. Because there is a resources in Imo State. That's why you will never have peace in Imo State. Hope Uzodinma made sure that he's the candidate for you not to have peace in Imo State, because there is natural gas in Imo State. That's why. Anywhere there is a resources, there will always be tension. Hope Uzodinma is covering the tension in Imo State, giving it back to back while they are taking gas there to Europe. All we are looking for, Tinubu said, he signed. He signed, he didn't sign. Bunch of blind people in Nigeria. We don't see the future, how dark it is in that country. Because you see, it is my people that is there. It's my person. Now my ethnic brother. No problem. It is our turn. Now what do you see? You know they see the bigger picture. You are forgetting that your children are growing up. You are forgetting that Europe, where you trust, say your children don't get citizen. Trump don't open the can of worm. They open the can of worm. Very soon it will spread across Europe. Now your children, you go tell me whether they go to Europe, they safe. They go back there. One day people weigh the verse go catch them. Their name go become sorry. That's the way it is. There is no hospital in Nigeria. President running to abroad, running to France for hospital checkup. The same applicable to governors. Shame on all of you who believe that it is my ethnic group, it is Yoruba presidency, or my turn, or who believe that it is Igbo presidency, or Hausa presidency, or Fulani presidency is going to fix Nigeria. No, it is not going to fix Nigeria. The only thing that will fix Nigeria is go your way, I go my way, so that you won't have a reason to use me to destabilize you, or use you to destabilize me, while the colonizer is eating. You are me and you are fighting. No, let's give an end to it. If you go your way, I go my way, we have a bilateral and multilateral relationship that protects, that make us, brothers, or that still put us together. If we don't understand that, you keep on saying, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. One Nigeria will continue to one Nigeria you. And those who are shouting one Nigeria are idiots who are committing crime outside the country. There are criminals committing crime all over the place outside the country, one crime or the other. Those are the people who are shouting one Nigeria. Because when they finish commit crime, they enter Nigeria, Nigeria will save them. They're going to chop money like Ekwensu. That's exactly what they are, the ones mostly shouting one Nigeria. They go tell you Nigeria sweet, oh boy, Nigeria sweet. Oh. You get one why I come to talk to. They tell me Nigeria sweet. Oh. Easy. I change them for them. Nigeria sweet. Oh. But you die abroad. You die abroad, they commit crime, they tell me Nigeria sweet. God punish you. Why you know then Niger they do your stuff since Niger sweet? If I did bad, there are a lot of people who need deportation. Who deserve deportation. May they go reach that Niger where sweet. They die abroad, but Niger sweet. Their family they home they suffer. Their family, their home, they suffer. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Welcome, Ebijina. Thank you for joining us. Isaiah Hyde, thank you for joining us. Oyibo, Oyibest, Iroko. Ostaino Onyeka. Chibu. Thank you for joining us, guys. Until we meet again. We shouldn't forget that Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. Tinubu was able to release Sunday Igboho. with the mask wearer in Asorok. But Tinubu does not want to release Igbo son. And then the Igbo will come and tell us, no, we are Igbo elite. Igbo elite. Or in fact, they might not understand. Igbo elites. They will see themselves as Igbo elites. And then okay. You wouldn't know that these are a bunch of betrayers and bunch of losers. Igbo elite na get and name a porn on social media backward. I can hear a red chamber. Igbo elite or Igbo elites. Bullshit. Those are the people who will come and tell you they are elites, but their son is in jail, in the dungeon, in arbitrary detention, a prisoner of conscience. But the Igbo Yoruba man, Sunday Igbo, who was doing the same thing, was released. No one remembers that. And your Igbo elites doesn't remember that. But they are the ones who, or Ohanes and Igbo, they couldn't speak on behalf of Igbos anymore. That's why Nnamdi Kanu is still in the dungeon. Because you don't have Igbo leaders. You have Igbo criminals. That's what we have. Because you had Yoruba leaders. That's why they had to release Sunday Igbo. Because they speak, it happens. In Nigeria, Igbo elite speaks, they push it, they just flush it in the toilet. After speaking, they flush it in the toilet. Just like they went to Buhari in Asorok to release Nnamdi Kanu. 2022 or 2021, what happened? They told you that Igbo elite is not eliting. You elite, you are not eliting. Enough in Nigeria. You no get ground and you no get level. That's what they tell the Igbos. That's why Nnamdi Kanu is still there. Sunday Igboho is released. That's exactly what's going on. But there is no problem. This is where I am going to leave it. Oh, Isaiah Heights said Tinubu won't release him because he was given direction from his colonial master not to. You know, all these people are just, they are not leaders, you know. Once this type of people climb into position of office, you lose your territorial integrity. That's exactly what you see. You lose your territorial integrity. Once the colonizers tell them what to do and they do it, that means you are not being governed by that person. You are governed by colonizers. That's the way it is. Shame on them. It is too shameful indeed. Too shameful indeed. Bye, guys.